Let me here go to Ms. Osman. And Ms. Osman, reports indicated that Trump administration is concerned that Netanyahu may abandon the US-backed deal. Now, what do you think of that threat, and what leverage beyond diplomatic pressure can the Trump administration put on Israel to ensure the compliance?
Thank you for having me, Mona. Greetings to you and to the honorable audience and your guests. Well, the United States has all the leverage it needs to impose whatever pressure on Israel so that they will comply with the agreement. The possibility of Netanyahu walking out of the agreement, of course, has been always present, and it was never denied. It comes as no surprise to anyone or to any decent or observant observer of the situation in Gaza and the Israeli and Palestinian conflict, and anyone who is aware of the nature of the Netanyahu government and the nature of the composition of his governing coalition. This man was forced into this ceasefire agreement and this peace plan by the Americans. If it's up to him and to his clique of right-wing fanatics, they would not abide for a single second to any of the provisions of this agreement. So I believe that the United States did demonstrate its ability to pressure Israel, first by forcing them to adhere to the terms of this agreement, largely at least, if not entirely. And also when violence sprung up in the Gaza Strip the day before yesterday, and the massive airstrikes Israel carried out, killing dozens of people, the United States managed to decisively intervene and rein in Netanyahu before he relaunched the war in full force once again. So this proves that the Americans do know very well how to pressure the Israelis and force down their hands and force them to compel them to comply with the agreement. So that's why what worries me, Mona, when U.S. officials leak to the media that they are worried about Netanyahu potentially withdrawing from the agreement, Netanyahu was never there withdraw from the agreement unless the United States allows him to do so. So as long as the United States keeps up the pressure, this is never going to happen. The day this agreement fails, God forbid, and the war resumes, we should know very well, Mona, that this has happened with U.S. consent, or at least by U.S. negativity and reluctance to apply pressure on the Israelis. We should never be fooled by these narratives and talking points that are propagated by such American media outlets that wish to always give the impression that Netanyahu is a loose cannon. He's not. He cannot move without the consent and the permission and the support of the Americans. So if he undertakes any step to undermine this agreement, it means that the Americans have consented to his undermining of the agreement.